Yeah, hi, I'm Shaun Muir. I'm the team principal for the Rocket BMW World Superbike team. Leading into most or nearly all the race meetings, effectively my work is 70% complete before I actually get to a race and 30% gets done at the race weekends. So overall, my job undertakes the kind of management of dealing with BMW, dealing with the sponsors, getting ready for the weekend to come. Whereas if I kind of flip it on its head, most of the mechanics probably do nearly all of their work at the race circuit and nothing away from the race circuit. So it's a kind of a balance, and some of the staff like the team management, team coordinators, they're also 50-50. So it's a fair split of work, but generally my work split is 70% away from the track and 30% at track in terms of kind of the importance of what we do. And as I say, the primary function is just dealing with BMW, dealing with the sponsors, dealing with the rider requirements, and generally making sure that the team is functioning logistically and operationally as good as it can be. Yeah, I mean, pre-season testing for us is absolute a necessity, as it is for every team. More so for ours this year because of the changes in the late regulations that were issued. So generally going into Australia, which is pretty early in the calendar, as in the first round, but also in the middle end of February. So for us as a team, we like to make sure we get at least 2 days done in December before the season goes into winter break, and then come January time, as soon as the weather starts to turn more favourable, we work on 2 days in Jerez, 2 days in Portimao before the big pack down and head to Australia. But this year, unlike most, has been quite treacherous in terms of the weather conditions. I think overall of the 6 days that we had planned, we actually literally had 1.5 days of usable dry track weather, which really hindered us this year. So going into the first round in Australia, we were really on the back foot with a package that was very new to us in terms of chassis, engine and electronic configuration. So we really had our work cut out, and that's shown in our early season form. Going into the race in Portimao, which was the second round, we had quite a long break after the first race in Australia, which we knew we'd kind of underperformed at, because we still had a lot of test items to get through. So critically, we had organised a team's test 2 weeks before the actual race, and that was actually invaluable for us because we managed to get some good track time in, and we had probably, I don't know, 60 to 70 laps per day of dry track conditions. So going into the actual FP1 on Friday of the feature race weekend, we were back on the front foot, as to speak, and we specifically Toprak, he led the way literally from FP1. So for us, it was ticking a big box of items we didn't get a chance to test correctly in the proper summer winter test sessions. And also going back to a circuit where we had a very good baseline anyway of the performance of the previous M1000RR. So the circuit itself and that test all led into what would have been our first wins of the season at the Portimao race, on a circuit which has historically been very good for us, but also a circuit we really enjoy anyway. Now, the key moments from the Portimao weekend were that it was dry to start with. We generally went with a better mood and a kind of atmosphere within the camp because we'd managed to get a setting that we couldn't get in Australia. So there was a lot of frustrations. My memories that's sticking out for me was that there was a lot of frustrations leaving Australia. We had a rider in Toprak that was quite frustrated and felt that he couldn't give his all. But going into Portimao, we were back on level again, and the memories we had from there was clearly the winning that he did and the close competition with Nicola Bulliger. And I think we very much realised at that point that it was going to be a really tough, close-fought championship. But to leave with those wins under our belt, and I guess some momentum starting to build again for the main European season, was the big takeaway for me.
Daniel Petrucci, that was a great lap within the 0.2 seconds of that pole. The Rocket BMW and Turbo from Turkey, going with the Prosecco gun. Back onto the podium, we'll get the top three together on the top step, and then we will get our official. Just join with Toprak. Get your cameras ready then before I come out and talk to them. Race one.